I was supposed to have this figured out by now. I've seen in my suggested videos tons of videos like this one, but I haven't been able to bring myself to watch any of them because I'm in the same boat. So much like I feel everybody is at some point, but I was supposed to have this life thing figured out by now. I was supposed to be successful, and I was supposed to be different from everybody. Maybe it was delusion, maybe I believed a little bit too much in my parents' hype and not enough in the reality of things. Before I get into the reality of life, let's talk about how 18 to 25 was supposed to go. At 18, I was supposed to attend either Mansfield University or Kutztown University with one of my longtime best friends. He ended up going to the military, and I ended up not going to either of them anyways, but either way, I was supposed to attend one of these schools. While I was there, I was going to grow my YouTube channel and become, quote, YouTube famous, unquote, while working a job to save and invest in the real estate market back home. Because truthfully, the barrier to entry in 2015, where I grew up, wasn't that bad. It was actually kind of cheap. COVID later on then proceeded to destroy that plan altogether. So while I was working and investing in real estate on summer breaks and making YouTube famous videos on Call of Duty, I would of course be playing college basketball. This part, now that I'm older and can look back at it, was 100% delusion. I hadn't looked into either of their basketball programs when I was their age, or when I was that age. I was a 5'11", 225-pound power forward that never had a second of playing time on an organized basketball team outside of middle school pee-wee basketball, and I somehow thought that I was either good enough or was going to put in enough work between the beginning of the school year and tryouts to make a Division II basketball roster. I went back and did the research for this video just because I was like, how delusional was I to find out that both of them are in the NCAA Division II athletics. So whatever young Tyler was on, I need it now in my adult life because I was shot. So even with the knowledge I have of basketball now and the very miniature resume I've gotten in the sport, I must have been out of my damn mind thinking that that was a reasonable possibility. Where was I going to have the time for all this? How was I going to balance life? Did I plan on sleeping more or less than 5 hours a night? So let's do some math. Part-time job, 20 hours a week. Full-time college at a minimum would be 15 hours of class time plus homework and labs, so let's say 30 hours a week. One good YouTube video with script, research, and good gameplay, 2 to 3 hours, because it was harder to break into the COD scene back then, so the videos had to be premium. Let's argue 6 videos a week, 18 hours. College ball player, you have lifts, plus practice, plus games. So let's say another 25 hours a week. That's 5 days a week of working, 1 to 2 hour lifts, plus 2 to 3 hours of practicing and skill work on my own. So right there, just with that, we're at 93 hours in 1 week. I haven't done travel to or from any of these places. I haven't slept, ate, or had a social life. And let's be honest as well, for me to play basketball, I would have had to work a lot harder than these guys and just to get time on the bench. So let's talk about everything else. You had meals and travel time. So let's say you do 30-minute meals plus 1 hour of travel time a day, which is pretty generous. That's 18 hours, 3 meals a day, 1 hour of travel time. That's 2.5 hours. That's 17.5 hours a week. So let's say 18. So that's 111 hours a week, and that barely covers everything I thought I could do. This was all factored with the idea when I started doing this math, with the idea that I would get 8 hours of sleep a night. That is the absolute best case scenario, and that is not at all how life works. I probably would have had to sleep 5 to 6 hours a night, done extra basketball work, done extra YouTube work, because you have bad days where you can't get a gameplay. The script just doesn't come out the way you want it to, and the commentary doesn't translate the way you think it should. Then you have classes. If I'm not paying attention to my classes, how am I going to pass them? If I pass them, I'm going to have to repeat them, and I'm going to be in college longer. So you're going to have classes that are harder. Like, personally, when I was in college, I struggled with accounting. It wasn't really my strong suit. So I spent extra hours in community college on accounting. I can't imagine it would have been any easier at a 4-year university going for a bachelor's degree. So again, that's absolute best case scenario. So that's not at all how life works. So let me step off my soapbox real quick. How did life go? Well, 27, I'm married with my own house. I have a dog, a cat, a hamster, in a career that I could grow inside of if I put the effort in. I have an associate's degree in business, and I've played 1 season-ish of semi-professional basketball in the U.S. I don't think it went all that bad. So here's the deal. Life could go absolutely off the rails and completely away from the plans of what your 17-year-old self had in mind. Shit, mine did. Many people focus on what they're supposed to be instead of what they became. This next piece of advice, I genuinely couldn't tell you what gave it to me or where I got it from, but I've given it to more people than I can count. Don't miss out on who you are today by focusing too much on who you want to become. I feel like I ended up lost at some point. I made a whole video about this, but I feel like I ended up lost at some point as a person, and I attribute it a lot to focusing on who I was supposed to be and the person I was chasing, that I spent more time in my head than I did in real life, actually doing the things that would move the needle and enjoying the life I was building. So focus on improving the now, and focus on improving the now instead of fantasizing about the future. The future almost never pans out the way you want it to, so there's automatic disappointment in some aspect. But making the best of your life now and working with the intention to be better than you were yesterday is what the goal should be. You should be chasing this idea of you with the feeling that you're going to fail at some point, and you have to be okay with that. But if you spend too much time fantasizing about that guy's life, you're not going to do anything to get there and make your life better today. So hopefully you got something out of this video, and I hope you guys have a good day. Peace out.